Okay, so, hi, my name is William I Hardwick, and this is my presentation on SpaceX. Um, Specifically, SpaceX's involvement with the Artemis program and how that relates to the future of space tourism. So I'm going to start by talking about SpaceX a little bit and then the Artemis program. And yeah, we'll go from there. So SpaceX, as you probably know, is owned by Elon Musk, who is very passionate about space travel and is trying to get us to Mars. And he has struck a deal with NASA to work with them on the Artemis program. The Artemis program was founded under the Trump administration, but it looks like it's going to be continued even under the Biden administration, so that is good news. So Artemis is a three-phase program, at least at first. I'm not exactly sure how expansive it is. So far, I've been able to find three main phases or missions. And the primary goal is to set up a base on the moon. And this is going to synergize our traveling to Mars. It's going to help us get to Mars, is what I'm trying to say. And so basically by slingshotting around the Earth to the moon and then slingshotting around the moon to Mars, we're going to have an easier time getting back and forth. And also, it would be great to study the moon. There's various other reasons for studying the moon. It's just this is going to help with studying Mars as well. And the plan is to, or at least it was, to get this space operational by 2024. It looks like it's more likely going to be getting going by 2025. I'm not really sure. Things might be speeding up. They might be slowing down. I found a few different things about whether or not we're going to be looking at 2024 or 2025. Hopefully there is going to be a tour at least by 2023, so I'm not entirely sure how the moon base, whether or not it will or won't be there when we finally get to the point that we are sending tourists to the moon, but we'll see. This is the rocket that they're going to use for the first Artemis mission in order to get to the moon. It is called the... Oh man, that's up here. I'm gonna have to redo it unless I can find the dang thing. The Space Launch System. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to upload this, but I'm just going to see. That might have eaten up too much time. Space Launch System. And that is the most powerful rocket we have ever flown into space, and is going to be the first time for an actual flight from the Earth to the moon that we sent a rocket this powerful. On board is going to be the Orion capsule. Compared to the Apollo capsule, it's pretty similar, but it's a little bit bigger and a little bit more advanced. So, yeah, here's them side by side. The Lunar Orbital Gateway is fascinating. It's sort of space station that we're going to be setting up that's going to orbit the moon, and I think it's gonna help with getting back and forth from orbiting the moon and the moon's surface. Basically, whatever you send to the moon can just spit. It doesn't necessarily land. It can either or which so this is probably going to be beginning to be assembled in Artemis Phase 2. This is the Starship's heating system. Primarily, it's going to be for going back and forth between the moon and the Lunar Orbital Gateway or platform. And, it's going to be waiting for the astronauts there. It's going to be in orbit when they arrive for Artemis Phase 3. So this is Artemis Phase 1. I'm not going to explain all the different steps here, but there's a lot of information here if you're interested in the first step. Basically, we're going to send an unmanned flight around the Earth and then slingshotting that to the moon. It's going to do a couple loops around the moon and then it's going to head back. A lot of it is just going to be for testing the rocket, but there's also going to be a few CubeSats. They're going to be in the orbit and have microbes and stuff in them. There's a few different things they're for, but they're basically little science experiments. They're going to drop into the orbit there and may go on and some other well. Artemis Phase 2, we're sending stuff there to some capsules there that are going to just kind of remain in orbit. This is the beginning of developing the Lunar Orbital Gateway. And then this is Artemis Phase 3. They're going to hopefully have this gateway kind of up and running. They're not going to use it yet, but you're going to have it going by then. And then this is when we're going to finally put hopefully the first woman on the moon. And we're going to start building that moon base. Commercial Lunar Payload Services, or the CLPS initiative, is basically a result of the fact that commercial businesses are going to be involved in sending supplies to the moon. So there's going to be payloads, and there's going to be various companies involved with manufacturing equipment and sending it to the moon. This is the south pole of the moon, and right down here is the Shackleton crater. This is where they're hoping to build the moon base, somewhere around here. This south pole is also where they're hoping to find some ice, and they're going to study that for various reasons, because if they can find ice on the moon, it could be very helpful for various reasons for the moon base. Then this is a lander, or it's a lander they're gonna place on the South Pole. This is a part of the Griffin mission, and basically, the purpose is to study the South Pole and to find ice. And this is the second one they're going to put on there. And this is the third one. It's called the Viper. This is the BFR. You can probably guess what that stands for. Big Falcon Rocket. And as I guess kind of named after the Millennium Falcon, the Big Falcon Rocket is a modified version of the Falcon Rocket that is going to be used for space tourism. And hopefully this is the rocket that a few tourists, including some artists, are going to be in when they take a trip to the moon in 2023. There's a Japanese billionaire named Yusaki Masawa. I probably just butchered his name, but he's the one that's kind of heading and funding that particular project. Wants to get a bunch of artists to take a look at the moon for a couple days. They'll be there for about 3 days and 12 hours, and then they'll return home. Be gone for a total of about 5 days before they get back, and yeah. But a lot of stuff has to happen between now and then before we can actually send people to the moon for space tourism, where we've got a lot of Artemis related stuff on the way. So yeah, and that is my report on SpaceX and the Artemis project. Thank you.